My fiancé's friends joked that she had a backup fiancé if I messed up. I laughed. Smart. Then I walked over to the backup, handed him the $100 engagement ring, and said, "Tag in, buddy, she's all yours." The silence in the room was deafening. Original post: I, 32 male, am, or rather was, engaged to Maya, 29. We've been together for 4 years, living together in my apartment. My name is the only one on the lease, for the last 18 months. We got engaged 6 months ago. The ring itself was a running joke between us. We were at an artisan fair upstate, and we saw this simple, hammered sterling silver ring with a single, clear cubic zirconia. It was beautifully made, but it was, silver and CZ. It cost exactly $100. Maya loved it, saying it was so us and that she didn't need a blood diamond. She insisted we buy it as the ring, with a promise that we'd get something real for our 5-year anniversary. I thought it was cool, a sign that she was practical and not materialistic. Spoiler, I am an idiot. Anyway, last night was our official engagement party. Just close friends, maybe 15 people crammed into my apartment. The vibe felt off all night. Maya was glowing, but every time I came near her, she'd find a reason to walk away, or she'd be in a tight huddle with her friends, Zara and Kim, whispering and giggling. Evan, 30M, her old college best friend she'd been seeing a lot of lately for support, was practically attached to her hip. I'd brought it up before and got the classic, "You're just being paranoid, I'd never." He's like my brother. We were opening gifts. We got a nice blender, we got some towels. Then Zara, who was 3 or 4 glasses of Prosecco deep, stood up to make a toast. "To Maya and Liam," she slurred, holding her glass up. Everyone cheered. "Seriously, to Maya, she is the smartest woman I know." More cheers. "I mean, she's got it all figured out. A great job, a great guy." She winked at me. I smiled. "And she's so smart, she even has a backup plan. Right, Evan?" The room went quiet, but not silent. It was that awkward, sharp inhale of 15 people at once. I looked at Maya. She was bright red, but she wasn't looking at me. She was looking at Evan, and she was smiling. A coy, pleased little smile. Evan, the absolute schmuck, smirked and raised his glass to her. "Always, Maya Bean." Zara, oblivious, plowed on. "Ha ha! I always tell her, if Liam ever messes up, you've got Evan on the bench ready to go. It's our little joke." My stomach just bottomed out. It was like a movie scene where the sound drops out and a high-pitched whine comes in. Every little red flag from the past 6 months lined up in a perfect mocking parade. The late nights, she said, were with the girls, but her phone location, which we shared, showed her in Evan's neighborhood. The constant texting, which she'd flip her phone over to hide. The brother lunches that lasted 3 hours. The way she'd stopped talking about wedding venues. They were all looking at me, waiting for my reaction to the joke. So I gave them one. I laughed, a loud, genuine-sounding laugh. "Zara, that is brilliant," I said, standing up. "Honestly, Maya, I'm impressed. A contingency plan. That's just smart risk management. You always have to have a plan B." Maya's smile faltered, her eyes narrowing. "Liam, what are you?" "No, seriously," I said, holding my hands up. I walked over to the coat rack where my jacket was. I reached into the inner pocket and pulled out the little velvet box with the $100 ring. I'd taken it off her finger earlier to clean it for the party. I walked across the room right past Maya and stopped in front of Evan. He was still half smirking, looking confused. I held out the box. He just stared at it. "Tag in, buddy," I said, my voice perfectly level. "She's all yours." I didn't just hand it to him. I opened his limp hand and dropped the box into his palm. The silence that followed was deafening. You could have heard a pin drop on the carpet. Zara's mouth was wide open. Maya's face had gone from rosy red to a sickly, pale white. "Party's over, everyone," I said, projecting my voice to the whole room. "Thanks for coming. Please get out." "Liam," Maya shrieked, finally finding her voice. "What are you doing? It was a joke, a stupid joke." "Was it?" I looked her dead in the eye. "Was it a joke when you were at his apartment last Tuesday, or the weekend I went to my parents'?" Her mouth snapped shut. I saw Evan's eyes widen. Oh, snap. He didn't know I knew that. Or maybe he didn't know she was lying to him too. Who cares? "Everyone, out, now," I said, moving to the door and holding it open. People scrambled to get their coats and shoes, nobody making eye contact. It was like a bomb had gone off. Zara and Kim were trying to usher a sobbing Maya towards the door, but she was resisting. I'm not leaving, she yelled. This is my home. You can't do this. It's my apartment, Maya. You're not on the lease, I said, my voice flat. You, Zara, Kim, and especially you, back up, get out. Evan, to his credit, looked like he wanted to be anywhere else on earth. He put the ring box on the side table and practically ran out the door. Maya, Zara, and Kim were the last ones. You are a monster, Liam, Zara spat. You're hysterical over nothing, Kim added. Maya just stared at me, tears streaming down her face. You're throwing away 4 years over a joke? No, Maya, I said, holding the door open. I'm saving myself a lifetime of being someone's plan A while they're auditioning plan B. Now get out. She finally left. I shut the door, locked the deadbolt, and put the chain on. That was 2 hours ago. My phone has been vibrating off the table, a mix of texts from her coven, and even her mom, who must have gotten the twisted Liam's a psycho version of events. I haven't read any of them. I'm just sitting in my living room surrounded by half-eaten snacks and discarded gift bags. I picked up the ring box from the table. I'm just looking at it. Best $100 I ever spent. Update 1, 3 days later. Hey Reddit. Wow. I did not expect this to blow up. Thanks for all the support and the mostly good advice. My DMs are a war zone, but the solidarity helps. I feel less like I'm crazy. So the last 72 hours have been a ride. The aftermath, night of the party. The pounding on my door started about 10 minutes after I locked it. It was Maya, Evan, the backup, he came back, and Zara. They were yelling. Maya, Liam, open this door, you're being insane, you embarrassed me. We're not leaving until you talk to her, you controlling prick. Dude, just come out, we can talk. You're making her cry. I just sat on my couch, I put on my noise-canceling headphones and started a new game. After about 20 minutes of them screaming and banging, I took my headphones off, called the non-emergency police line, and reported a group of intoxicated individuals I just kicked out of a party who are refusing to leave my property and are causing a disturbance. I put the phone on speaker and turned the volume up. The dispatcher's voice, "Sir, are you in immediate danger?" was loud enough to be heard through the door. The pounding stopped. I heard panicked whispering. He's calling the cops. Oh my God, let's go. Maya, come on, he's crazy. By the time I saw the patrol car's lights flash through my window, they were long gone. The text onslaught. My phone was a nuclear core of notifications. I finally read them the next morning. It was a masterclass in gaslighting. Maya, 80+ texts, 15 missed calls. How could you do that to me, in front of everyone? It was a joke, a stupid joke. You have serious trust issues. Fine, I'm at Evans. Are you happy now? You drove me to him. You're throwing away 4 years of memories. My mom is horrified. She can't believe you'd be so cruel. I'm coming to get my stuff tomorrow. We are going to talk. You didn't even let me explain. Evan is just a friend. You twisted everything. Zarelv texts. You're a psycho, plain and simple. Maya is destroyed. She loves you. You're a monster. I hope you're happy alone, you insecure weirdo. Evlook, man, you really overreacted. It was a joke. You humiliated Maya for no reason. Not cool. My response, the methodical part, I didn't reply. Not to one text. Instead, I got to work. Blocked all of them. Maya, Evan, Zara, Kim, even Maya's mom, who had sent me a text saying Maya's a good girl, whatever you think happened, you're wrong. Call her. Locks. 8 a.m. sharp, I had a locksmith at my door. New high-security deadbolt, new lock on the knob. Cost me $280. Worth it. Packing. I spent all of yesterday packing her stuff. Every single thing. Every tube of lipstick, every pair of shoes, all her clothes, her toiletries. I was methodical. I found things I'd bought her. I found little notes I'd written her. That part sucked. I won't lie, I had a moment. I sat on the floor of the closet for about 10 minutes and just felt empty. 4 years. But the anger came back pretty quick. I found a little framed photo of her and Evan from college on her desk. I packed that too. The furniture. This is where it gets tricky. She had 3 main pieces of furniture. A big antique-style vanity her aunt gave her, a bookshelf, and a $700 ergonomic chair she needed for her WFH setup. I paid for the chair on my credit card 6 months ago, and she swore she'd pay me back in installments. She's paid exactly $0. The confrontation, round 2. Around 4 p.m. yesterday, the pounding started again. I looked through the peephole. It was Maya, alone this time. She looked furious. I opened the door, chain still on. She shoved at the door. Liam, let me in. My key doesn't work. Me. I know. I changed the locks. You what? You can't do that. This is my home. I have rights. No, Maya. It's my apartment. You're not on the lease. You were a guest. You're not welcome anymore. A guest? I've lived here for 2 years. You can't just evict me. Me? I can, and I did. We're broken up. You can't break up with me over a joke. I'm getting my stuff. I've packed your personal belongings. They're in boxes by the door. You packed my... You're unbelievable. Open this door. No, you can schedule a time to come and pick up your boxes. You will have 30 minutes. You can take what's in the entryway. That's it. Her face went purple. What about my furniture? My vanity? My chair? Me. The vanity is yours. It was a gift. The bookshelf is yours. The chair? I paused. The chair I paid $700 for. You agreed to pay me back. You haven't. You pay me the $700. You can have the chair. Her jaw hit the floor. That's extortion. You're stealing from me. That's my work chair. I need it. Me. Then you should have paid for it. Or not had a backup fiancé. I'll call the cops. I'll tell them you're stealing my property. Please do. I'd love to show them the lease and the credit card statement for the chair. Explain to them how your joke got you kicked out. Go ahead. I'll wait. She stared at me. The tears started, but they were angry tears. You will regret this, Liam. You have no idea. She stormed off, dialing her phone. So, that's where I am. I've got 14 boxes of her stuff stacked in my entryway. I'm waiting for the police to show up for a theft report. I'm also half expecting a brick through my window. This is a nightmare. But weirdly, I feel lighter, calmer. The anxiety that's been building for months is gone. It's just clarity and a $700 chair that's actually really comfortable. Update 2 weeks later. This saga just keeps getting more and more ridiculous. The entitlement is off the charts. The police visit. So, Maya made good on her threat. 2 days after my last update, 2 police officers knocked on my door. I saw them coming through the peephole, so I was ready. Maya and Evan, the backup in his full glory, were waiting on the curb by their car, like a little victim and hero combo. I opened the door. Officer 1, older, looked tired. Sir, we received a call about a domestic dispute. A Miss Maya? Me. Hello, officers. There's no dispute. My ex-fiancée is outside. I broke up with her last week, and she's been asked to leave. Maya. He locked me out. He stole my stuff. He has my expensive chair. Officer 1 sighed. A deep, I'm too old for this, sigh. Officer 2. Sir, you understand that if she's a resident, you can't just lock her out. That's an illegal eviction. Me. I completely understand, officer, which is why I have my lease right here. I handed him the printed out lease. My name is the only one on it. She was my guest. Her driver's license, her bills, they all go to her parents' house. She never legally resided here. Officer 2 scanned the document. Officer 1 looked at Maya, then back at me. Officer 1. Okay, but she has property in the apartment. Me. Yes, she does. 14 boxes of it, right here in the entryway. I gestured behind me. I've repeatedly offered to let her schedule a pickup. She refused and demanded full access to the apartment, which I am not comfortable with. He's lying. He's keeping my work chair. It's worth $700. Sir, what about the chair? Me. Ah, yes, the chair is a disputed item. I purchased it on my credit card. I handed him the credit card statement with the charge highlighted. She agreed to pay me back and never did. I've told her she can have it as soon as she pays me the $700 I'm owed. As far as I'm concerned, it's my chair until I'm reimbursed. The rest of her property, her clothes, her vanity, her bookshelf, is right here. She can take it right now. The cops looked at each other. Officer 1, to his radio, dispatch, this is a civil matter, property dispute. He looked back at me. Sir, we can't force you to give her the chair. That's for small claims court. But we can supervise a civil standby so she can retrieve her undisputed property. Are you agreeable to that? Me, absolutely. Thank you, officer. The pickup. The cops walked down and got Maya and Evan. The next 20 minutes were the most awkwardly silent, high-tension moment of my life. The 2 cops stood in my open doorway. I stood in the living room. Evan and Maya had to walk, trip by trip, taking the 14 boxes, the bookshelf, disassembled, and the vanity, which was a pain. Maya was ugly crying the entire time. Sobs, hiccups, the whole performance. Evan just looked angry and kept glaring at me. Evan, muttering as he picked up the last box, "You're a real piece of work, man. Just give her the chair. You're welcome to Venmo me the $700 and take it yourself. Back up." Officer 1 barked a single short laugh. Evan's face went bright red. He grabbed the box and stormed out. This isn't over, Liam. You're a thief." "Okay, Maya. Have a good night." I closed the door. The cops gave me a nod and left. The new dirty trick. I thought that was it. I really did. I was wrong. The entitlement just found a new, more dangerous path. Yesterday I got a call from my landlord, Mark. "Mark? Hey, Liam? Weird question, but is everything okay over there?" "Hey, Mark? Yeah, why?" "Just a messy breakup, but it's handled." "Well, I'm asking because I've gotten three anonymous calls to the management office in the last 24 hours. All concerned tenants." My blood went cold. Concerned about what? First one was about constant screaming and arguments. The second was about a strange chemical smell from your vents. And the one I just got 10 minutes ago was about suspected illegal drug activity and a lot of strange men coming and going. I couldn't speak. "Look, Liam, you've been a perfect tenant for 5 years. I know this is crap. I know you. But you gotta understand, the corporate office freaks out about this. Drug activity is the magic word. They've already told me I have to schedule a formal unit inspection for next week. And if I get one more call, they're going to push for an eviction notice based on violation of the community safety clause." This wasn't just a smear campaign. This was an attack on my home, my life. She was trying to get me evicted. "Me, Mark? It's my ex. I swear to you, she's retaliating because I kicked her out after well, it's a long story. But it's all lies. I believe you. I really do. But my hands are tied. I have to do the inspection, and please, whatever this is, make it stop. I don't want to lose you as a tenant, but they'll go over my head." My response, I hung up, and for the first time, I was genuinely scared. This wasn't about a chair anymore. This was a burn-it-all-down tactic. I'm not a rich guy, but I'm not stupid. I immediately called a local lawyer's office and paid $350 for a 1-hour consultation and a service. I explained everything to the lawyer, the backup joke, the police report, which I got a copy of, and the calls to my landlord. The lawyer was grim. She said this is classic vindictive ex behavior. Her advice? Cease and desist. She is drafting a formal cease and desist letter. It will be sent via certified mail to Maya, at her parents' house, Evan, and Zara, whose address I unfortunately know. Documentation. The letter will detail the incident, the false police report, and the harassment campaign via anonymous, defamatory calls to my landlord. It will state that any further contact, direct or indirect, or any more anonymous calls, will be treated as evidence in a forthcoming civil suit for harassment, defamation, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. Landlord. I am to send a formal, written email to my landlord and CC his corporate office, summarizing my breakup, stating that I am being targeted by a campaign of harassment and false defamatory reports by my ex-fiancé as retaliation, and attaching a copy of the C&D letter to show I am handling it legally. This creates a paper trail protecting me. So that's my life now. I'm out $350 for a lawyer and $280 for a locksmith. My landlord thinks my apartment is a drug den, and I have to have a formal inspection next week. All because I wouldn't play along with a joke. The nerve of these people, to be the ones in the wrong, and then to try to ruin my life as a punishment for me not letting them. I'm not even angry anymore. I'm just cold. This isn't a breakup. This is a war I didn't ask for, but I'm damn well going to finish it. Final update, 2 months later. It's over. Thank God it's finally over. I'm sitting in my apartment. It's clean, it's quiet, and I passed the inspection with flying colors. Mark, my landlord, was super apologetic about it. So here's the final domino cascade. The C&D letter. My lawyer sent the cease and desist letters. Certified mail. All 3 were signed for. And just like that, silence. The calls to my landlord stopped. Instantly. The concerned tenant evaporated. It's amazing what a letter with a real lawyer's letterhead can do. The threat of a civil harassment suit was enough to make the coven scatter. My email to the corporate office with the C&D attached also worked. I got a very polite, very formal email back saying they considered the false reports to be a closed matter. The backup bails. This was the part I didn't see coming. About a week after the letters went out, I got a text from an unknown number. "Hey, it's Evan. Listen, I'm out. This whole thing is crazy. Maya is nuts." I just stared at the text. I didn't reply. About 10 minutes later, another one came. "She's been staying with me, and she's a nightmare. She wanted me to call your landlord again and say I saw you with a gun." "I'm not doing that. I'm not getting arrested for her. I told her to get out. I'm done. Sorry for my part in this." So, the backup plan folded the second it involved actual risk or any personal cost. He was happy to be the smug, smirking side piece, but he wasn't willing to be an accomplice to a serious crime. The $100 ring was apparently too high a price. The final boss, Maya's mom life was quiet for almost a month. I was just healing. Then last night, my phone rings, an unknown number. I almost didn't answer. "Hello, Liam? It's Helen, Maya's mom." My blood pressure instantly spiked. "Helen, I'm surprised to hear from you." "Yes, well, Liam, I know things ended badly. I'm not calling to rehash that." "Okay. What can I do for you?" "Look, Maya, she's not doing well. She had to move back home. Evan, well, he was not a nice boy. She's just so distraught. She's trying to get her freelance work going again, but she trailed off." I said nothing. "It's her back, Liam. It's just, she's in so much pain. She can't sit at her desk for more than an hour. That ergonomic chair you have." She said it was the only one that ever worked for her. I almost laughed. It was so pathetic. After everything, after trying to get me evicted, after trying to get me arrested, the play was to send her mom to guilt me over a chair. "Helen, I'm sorry to hear her back hurts. That's a shame. She said you were just keeping it. Out of spite." "I'm keeping it because I paid $700 for it on my credit card. She agreed to pay me back, and she never paid a single cent. I'm not running a charity, and I'm definitely not giving a $700 gift to a person who tried to get me kicked out of my home." Another long sigh. This one was more frustrated. "Fine. How much?" $700. "That's ridiculous. It's a used chair. That's the price. It's the price I paid. It's the price she agreed to pay. Honestly, Helen, I'm being generous. I should be charging for storage and the emotional distress." A long, angry silence on her end. I could hear her breathing. Can I Venmo you?" I blinked. Yes, you can. My Venmo is @Venmo." "And you'll give her the chair?" You send me $700. I will put the chair on my porch. You can send whoever you want to come and get it. I don't want to see her." "Fine." She hung up. I swear to you, not 60 seconds later, a Venmo notification popped up. "Helen paid you $700. Note, for the chair." I rolled the very comfortable, fully paid-for chair out onto my porch. I texted her, "It's outside." I watched through the window. An hour later, a beaten-up sedan I didn't recognize pulled up. Maya got out of the passenger side, ran up, grabbed the chair, shoved it in the back seat, and the car sped off. She didn't even look at my apartment. Conclusion. So that's it. It's done. The coven scattered because it wasn't fun anymore. The backup bailed because he's a coward. And the princess is back at her parents' castle, minus her pride, but plus her ergonomic chair, paid for by her mom. I heard through a mutual friend, one who actually apologized to me, that Zara and Maya aren't friends anymore. Apparently, Maya blamed Zara for the whole thing, saying her stupid joke ruined her life. The lack of self-awareness is astounding. As for me, it cost me. I'm out $280 for the locksmith and $350 for the lawyer. That's $630. But I'm up $700 on the chair, so I'm net $70. But emotionally, it cost a lot more. It's hard to trust my own judgment. 4 years? And I never saw the entitlement until it was staring me in the face. But I'm good. The apartment is mine. It's quiet. I'm not dating. I'm just enjoying the peace. I'm not a hero. I'm not a badass. I'm just a guy who finally learned how to enforce a boundary. Oh, and the $100 ring? The box is in the trash. I took the ring itself and threw it in one of those donate your old jewelry bins at the mall. I hope it goes to someone who actually deserves it. Thanks for listening, Reddit. Peace out.